serious, it's fun, it's your Catholic Drive Time.
With Joe McClane and EmilyiAlcaraz.
Joining us right now via the telephone, all the way from Alabama, John Martignoni from the Bible Christian Society. Good morning to you, John.
Good morning, Joe. How you doing out there?
Praise be to God, I am alive. I want to go back in this first segment with you before we jump into the Billboard campaign. How did you get involved in Catholic apologetics? I think it's an interesting story, and I think we should start there.
Well, it was through radio, but through evangelical radio, actually. I was driving from work to the post office one day, and at that time, this was mid-'90s, I was doing nothing but listening to Scott Hahn stuff because I was new back into my faith, just soaking up all this apologetics and Bible studies that he did. And it was only a 5-minute ride from the office to the post office. I said, well, I can't really get much out of Scott Hahn in 5 minutes because, you have to hit rewind. At the time, cassette tapes, you have to hit rewind at least 4 or 5 times every couple minutes. So I said, well, I'm just going to listen to some music. Well, every single station, all 5 or 6 stations I had pre-programmed in my radio had talk on them, commercials or talk radio. So I tuned to the Christian station in town, the big one, which I'd never listened to. And I said, well, Christian music's getting better. Maybe they've got some good music. Well, I tune in and it's talk. So I kind of ignore it and pull into the post office. And right as I'm getting out of the car, I hear the phrase, Whore of Babylon, come from the radio. And I literally, it was Whore of Babylon, click, the car was off. I mean, a second later, and I would have never heard it, and I wouldn't be where I am today. So I turn it back on. I said, please don't go where I think you're going to go with this. And they keep talking, they say, what is the end-time religious political system that the Antichrist will use to take over the world? Well, which city sits on 7 hills and is home to a major world religion? Rome. So this end-time political religious system of the Antichrist is the Roman Catholic Church. That's all we have time for today. And I was like, oh, my gosh. They went there. So I wrote the station a letter, and said, hey, anti-Catholic bigotry, you ought to allow a Catholic to come on. And I didn't mean this Catholic. But one thing led to another, and I wound up being on that. They had a live show every afternoon from 12 to 2:30. I wound up being on the live show, a Catholic on evangelical radio, and Jeff Cavins lived in town at the time doing his show on EWTN. He came on with me, and the phones blew up because here are Catholics, and especially a former Protestant minister in Cavins, talking Bible on evangelical radio. Well, it went nuts. And the next day, a local Catholic whose family had a lot of money called and said, I will buy time on the radio if you will do a show like that. And, I told God, I said, God, this is such a crazy idea, I'm not even going to pray about it. I said, if you want it to happen, you make it happen. Well, over the next several months, some weird things happened, some strange coincidences, and I wound up doing radio on that show. But when I wrote them the initial letter, I thought, they don't care who John Martignoni is. So I made up the Bible Christian Society, and I made myself the president of the Bible Christian Society. So I signed this letter to them about anti-Catholic bigotry and letting Catholics come on the air as John Martignoni, president of the Bible Christian Society. And that's how the Bible Christian Society was born, and that's how my whole apologetics gig got going, and it's just been one crazy ride since then.
That sounds legitimate, John. I mean, you could have gone with like chief executive officer, chairman of the board, president. Yeah. Seems very rational and reasonable, and here you are.
Major stockholder.
Major stockholder, that's right. Praise be to God. John Martignoni is our guest. We just went over a little bit of his past and how he got involved in Catholic apologetics. Now, we have a few minutes till we go to a short break, but there are reports, John, that there are billboards popping up all over Birmingham, Alabama. Tell us about this.
Yes, we're doing a 4-week Billboard campaign, the Bible Christian Society is, and we're in the 3rd week now. The first week, the sign, and it's on, about 8 or 9 billboards around the city, so it basically surrounds the city of Birmingham. And the first week, it was just on a stark black background, bright red lettering. It said, the Catholic Church, 33 A.D., dash. And that's it. And at the bottom it had BibleChristianSociety.com. And, and my first target with these billboards is Catholics. I want Catholics to be affirmed in their faith, to get excited about their faith, and see, hey, there is somebody being very proactive in evangelizing for the Catholic Church instead of against the Catholic Church, which, as you know, living in the South, that happens all the time. So Catholics are going crazy, and a lot of them know Bible Christian Society around here, but a lot of them don't. And so I'm getting calls, texts, emails. I posted it on Facebook page, which I've got a page, John Martignoni and the Bible Christian Society. You can see the billboards there. And I'm getting hundreds of hits, phone calls, emails. It's going crazy. And so the second week was just a picture, beautiful picture of the Virgin Mary, and it says Mary ... Mother of God ? ! And on the bottom, the tag is BibleChristianSociety.com/Mary. And if they go to that page, it's just the first thing you see is a short apologetic from Scripture on why it's more than appropriate to call Mary the Mother of God, which most Protestant Christians do not do and are opposed to. And this week, the billboard is, which church is the church? The is all capitals. And it takes you to a quiz on my website, to BibleChristianSociety.com/quiz. And that quiz starts off, did Jesus start a church? Yes or no? You click the right answer. It tells you Scripture, Matthew 16, Matthew. It's interactive quiz. Then the next page. Well, how long?
Hold that thought. Hold that thought, John. Sorry to cut you off, but we have to go to a short break. We're going to come right back. John, back many years ago now, I was working for an organization called Fullness of Truth, and we were putting out billboards down in Corpus Christi, Texas, for a big conference that we were hosting. Right. And giant billboard says Fullness of Truth. And I remember getting a phone call after putting that up. And the person was so excited. I saw your billboard. It looked amazing. Tell me, what do you do? And I'm like, we're a Catholic apologetic organization. Click. I mean, it was like cold turkey. What? And then hung up on me. What kind of responses have you been getting with your billboards?
Well, number one, I've designed these billboards to be provocative, to provoke thought, to provoke questions, dialogue, and introspection on Catholic and non-Catholic both. But from the Catholics, they're coming out of their skin excited about these billboards. I told somebody just yesterday or the day before, this is the most response I've ever gotten to anything I've done since I started on that evangelical radio station with the Catholic Apologetics Show, which lit people up. So in the last 20-plus years or so, I've never done anything that has gotten this kind of response. And I'm hearing not directly from non-Catholics, but through Catholics I'm hearing from non-Catholics, and they're excited about it, and they're maybe not the same level as the Catholics, but one guy said, hey, essentially a newfound respect for the Catholic Church. Didn't realize the Catholic Church was founded in 33 A.D., and when it's just a simple historical fact, Joe, but it's provocative because a lot of people don't realize, Catholic churches, they're coming up on 2,000 years now. They must have been founded by Jesus if they were founded in 33 A.D. So, like I said, it provokes thought, it provokes dialogue. The website hits are going up, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hits on my Mary page, on the quiz page, which, again, the quiz just starts off, and it leads you inevitably to, well, how many churches have these characteristics? And it's just like 18 questions, true, false, or yes, no, and some multiple choice. It takes a couple minutes to do, and it leads to the last answer is the Catholic Church. And then next week, the billboard is just going to say a quiz for Christians, BibleChristianSociety.com/quiz. And, I did an online campaign 3 years ago where we did millions of banner ads and targeted email blasts. And when I found out that the banner ads that had the word quiz in them, they outperformed all the other ads by 5 to 10 times.
Wow.
And so people like to take quizzes, all those online things. Hey, take this quiz, see if you could pass this, or do you know the history of the United States in this, or could you pass this test or that? And so I'm trying to use that to evangelize. But again, the hits, several hundred hits right now, and we're only halfway through the campaign.
That's amazing. John Martignoni is our guest. I'm looking at the Facebook page right now for the Bible Christian Society, and I see one comment over here on the picture of the billboard with Our Lady on it. It says, Mary, the Mother of God, ! Exclamation point. And then underneath is the BibleChristianSociety.com/Mary. And one of the commenters said, I saw them everywhere in Birmingham, downtown, Vestivia, Hoover. Love, love, love it. And so you're getting a great response. This can't be cheap, though. I mean, billboards traditionally are pretty expensive media. What kind of a budget would one need for a campaign of this nature?
Well, this campaign is $25,000. It's on 4 of the biggest, or not biggest, but 4 of the most viewed billboards around town, and then 4 or 5 of the billboards that are seen by people but not quite as often. So the billboard company calls them impressions, just like the online folks do. So 4 billboards that get massive impressions and 4 or 5 others that get moderate impressions. But so 25,000. And here's the thing. I was on Teresa Tomio's show last week talking about this, and I've already gotten people from Dallas to call and donate money. They said, we want something here. I've got somebody in Louisiana who's saying, hey, let's do something maybe in New Orleans and Baton Rouge. And that's my hope, is that this thing will go national. And so I'm looking at, okay, I already talked to the Billboard company yesterday. The guy and I exchanged emails. What would it take to do something on a more national basis, major cities? So Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, Jackson, Mississippi, New Orleans, etc. So that's hopefully going to be the next step in all of this.
John Martignoni is our guest. You know, one of the things I love about this, John, is in a world that's being pushed digital, at a pace now that's picking up, and we're seeing tons of censorship all over for our message, for our belief, what we believe in the dignity of the human person, of sanctity of marriage, et cetera, et cetera. I love the fact that you can still reach the masses through some of these traditional methods, radio, for instance, and billboards. You said you did a big campaign a year or 2 ago. Did you ever see yourself trying to do billboards? Was that something you wanted to do, or did you give it another shot because of some of the challenges elsewhere?
I had thought about it, because what I'm doing like test marketing in many different media. I've done online. I did newspapers, which the response from newspapers surprised me how good it was. I've done TV commercials. So I thought, well, billboard or radio is next. But there's a lawyer around the Southeast who's got like a $2 to $3 million billboard budget per month.
Wow.
You see his signs everywhere in Alabama. And he's raking in the cash. And so I thought, well, billboards must be working, so let's go billboards next. And by golly, they do work. And then radio advertising is going to be the next step after this one, or the more national billboard campaign if folks step up.
Amazing. BibleChristianSociety.com is the website. If you want to contribute to the cause, that'd be pretty amazing, I think. We have a few minutes left with John Martignoni here. What would be the ultimate outcome of a billboard campaign like this? I remember talking to you many, many years ago now, John, and you had set this goal that you wanted to convert Birmingham. What is it, like 4% Catholic there? You wanted to transform Birmingham for the church. Do you still have that as a goal? How do you foresee the fruit of works like this?
Well, my goal, I drew up a 40-year evangelization plan back on my 40th birthday in 1998, and the goal was 50% of Birmingham by 2038 to be Catholic. So that's a 40-year plan. We've got 19 years left, and I never planned on Catholic radio and that. So I think a lot of seeds have been planted over the last 20 years, and maybe through the Billboard campaign, radio advertising, and who knows what else God will bring out of all this, that we can, let's say we don't get to 50%. Let's say we just double it and get to 10% or 12%. What an awesome thing. And my big thing is, Joe, we've got our 2,000-year anniversary of the church coming up. And, what year actually it was, some people say 33 AD, some say 30 AD. But I'm assuming the church is going to go 33 AD. Why don't we start a 9-year novena of events beginning in 2024, leading up to the 2,000-year anniversary of the church, and use that as a huge evangelization platform that, hey, 2,000 years, because eventually I want to be putting up billboards, the Catholic Church, 2,000 years coming up or something like that. So I'm hoping for massive conversion to the Catholic faith in the next 18, 19, 20 years.
Amen. Now, I've seen Satanists use billboards campaigns to try to lead people further away from Christianity. In fact, I've seen them put new ones up suggesting that they could perform abortions even in places where that might be more difficult. How do you see, would it be possible to tailor a campaign of billboards that might hyper-target atheists, for instance?
Well, yes. I was thinking of that just last week. I was thinking, atheist why is there something instead of nothing? And then BibleChristianSociety.com/atheist or something like that. So, yes. But see, on billboards, like, as you know, you've got to be short and sweet.
Yeah.
Very succinct and give them something good to go to. And so, yes, I was thinking about atheists. But right now what I'm being drawn to is, hey, we need to be one as Christians. We can't have all these denominations out there. Jesus doesn't want division in his body. So my first target are the Christians, and then, the ripples in the pond out from that. But atheism is growing and growing and growing. So, yes, that is definitely on my radar in terms of a billboard campaign.
Now, if you had your choice, if you had the money or whatever, where would you go next? If you could pinpoint, if it was all on you to decide, where would you go to next for a billboard campaign? Well,
I go where people contact me, and the first person to contact me after being on Teresa Tommy and talking about this last week was from Dallas. And so I'm like, okay, God, if that's where you want me to go, and you want billboards in Dallas. And I was just out in the Dallas area in Frisco a couple weeks ago speaking to a ladies group at a parish out there, the Moms group at the parish in Frisco, and so I was like, all right, well, maybe Dallas is the next place. So we'll see. But somewhere in the South where, Catholics are not the majority of the population.
All right. Praise be to God. John Martignoni, president of the Bible Christian Society. BibleChristianSociety.com is the website. God love you, John. Thanks for being on our program today.
My pleasure, Joe. I enjoyed it.
Praise be to God. Have a great day, John. And that is going to do it for hour number 1 of Catholic Drive Time. Praise Jesus. We're going to post the conversations we've had today later as individual clips on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and elsewhere. You can check that out. You can find all the links of everything we do and watch live right on our website, grnonline.com/CDT. In the next hour, if you can join us, the Fear and Trembling game show is coming up and prizes are involved. It's going to be a blast. Maybe you can be the contestant. grnonline.com/CDT is the website. God love you. God bless you. We'll see you then.
Thank you for joining us on Your Catholic Drive Time, where it is our pleasure to keep you informed and inspired.
Join us Monday through Friday at the same time, right here on your favorite Catholic radio station.
Don't forget to connect with us. Just go to Facebook.com/Catholic Drive Time.
Again, that's Facebook.com/Catholic Drive Time.
Be sure to share more than just us today. Share Jesus with everyone you meet.
Bye now, and God love you.